Patty was doing and what Wes was doing. We kind of came up with this 11 things kind of a document. And what was great is, you know, Jamie basically from scratch going into the fall campaign busted out $160,000 this fall. He was averaging pretty close to 11 grand a week on this program. So he's got some really great things to share with you about the genesis of this, where it's coming from. So I'm going to turn it over to him right now. Come on up, Jamie. You guys hear me? Because I'm just going to talk about 5 or 10 minutes and then bring Lloyd right back up. But he wanted me to talk to you guys about kind of my experience the last fall. Because as I said earlier, when I first opened my office this last summer, I wasn't very trained or ready to open an office. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare since I was finishing school, and I didn't actually have an office in my territory. I had to drive about 2 to 2.5 hours to the carpenter's office to actually get some training. So I moved to Dallas a couple of times and went to the Dallas office, the Garland office, to learn a few things. And naturally, the things that I spent my time on, since I had a few days to learn it before I opened my office, you know, were the things that I thought were really important to run a business. I learned like the interviews, learned how to run training. Well, I tried to learn how to run training. I didn't actually learn that until about a month after having an office. But I tried to learn the basics of everything. And I watched the PR program as well. And basically, I found that if I could just try and focus on those 3 things, I could be pretty profitable. By the way, I was profitable this last summer. I didn't hit my goal, but I still made money. As the summer kind of wound down, I started reflecting what I did as a district manager and what I wanted to change. I saw I had a long way to go. I didn't want things to continue the way they were. I wanted to get better. And so I was excited when CFC rolled around at the end of the summer because I knew that I was going to learn a lot of stuff from some of the top managers. And I knew I was going to have a lot more time in the fall to actually devote to becoming the best manager that I could be. At CFC, I learned several things that you know, really helped me out. A few of them changed basically the whole way I ran my business and kind of looked at being a manager. One of the talks that I heard at CFC was from Earl Kelly. He gave a talk concerning the whys behind the hows. And a lot of you guys that just got promoted to Canada or to district manager branches, hopefully you're getting taught right now the whys behind the hows. And you don't have to wait until CFC to figure it all out. And whenever I found out, you know, why we do things the way we do them, it made it a lot easier to actually do them. And just made it a lot easier to be a district manager. As a rep, my motto was to work smarter, not harder. Tell my reps that all the time. And at CFC, I learned how to work smarter as a district manager. Once I learned the reasons of why we do things, it made it a lot easier to actually do it. I began to see how a proper scheduling PC, like Patty and some of these guys are going to talk about here in a few minutes, I began to learn how, you know, doing a proper PC can basically add $1,000 in sales to your office that week. I started thinking, I was like, wow, if I could just motivate my reps to do 5 to 7 more appointments this week, and they would have done if I didn't meet with them, I could have $1,000. And you know, I found out whenever I was working there that I began to see how, you know, PDI could help hold my reps accountable to doing phone time and being at team meetings. I began to see how being aggressive and active advertising could add 30 to 40 to 50 reps a campaign to my office. You know, I began to see that if I made my team meetings more fun and exciting, my reps would actually want to show up. Because I had more people show up at the team meetings in the fall than I did the summer. Our office was actually like a summertime district office in the fall. In the fall or in the summer, it was actually like a spring or a fall. And so it was completely different because I decided to do things a different way. I can't wait till this next summer. I began at CFC to see how I could, you know, have some focus time for myself and my staff, and that would actually help us, you know, get more stuff done at our office and help our office grow. I decided to have a weekly staff meeting this fall because I had developed the staff over the summertime where I could kind of teach them how to do things in the office, and we could kind of reflect on the previous week and the numbers and look forward to the next week and make sure things were getting done. I realized the power of the PR program, and Michael Dawson talked about it at CFC. I remember him talking about the revenues versus the expenses. I was like, holy crap, why don't I have more PRA coverage? You know, it's just a no-brainer. And I started seeing all these things, and I started my eyes were open for the very first time. I could run my office for 4 months. And I was like, wow, I wish I'd known this stuff before. I did, I just never listened. I realized that I wasn't utilizing a key staff program. I ran 1 key staff meeting all summer, my first summer. I wasn't running phone jams. I'd have a phone jam schedule, nobody would show up. I began to see how there's often times that I forget about my reps finishing their fast start when the new training class came around. I just forgot all about it. I was like, who cares about them? I'm going to do training class. And I wouldn't help them finish their fast start. I began to see how, I started to realize how just by practicing discipline in all of the 11 areas that Boyd's going to talk about here in a minute, if I could just practice the discipline of these 11 things, just for like 21 days, I could create a habit. Have you guys heard that before? You do something for 21 days, you create a habit? I was like, man, if I can do that for 21 days and just have the discipline to sit down and make sure I get it done for 21 days, I can create a habit. And if I can create a habit, I can create an atmosphere. And once I get that atmosphere going for my team, I can create a lifestyle that I wanted. And I can only imagine my dreams. You see, at CSC, I made the decision to quit running a mediocre office where I would just state the standards as they're described in the training notes instead of reading them. And I would actually start running an organization that I was proud of. I decided that I would have a higher standard for my management staff and teach them the things that would truly help them whenever they open their office this summer. I decided that I wouldn't let them wait till their first CSC to learn the wild line in my house. I wanted to teach them that while they were running my office. I decided that I wouldn't stand for mediocrity anymore, and I decided that I would have a plan from then on. I wouldn't just show up to work and be a recruiter, I would own my organization as a business owner. Some of you guys are sitting here today, hopefully you're going to take some good notes, but a lot of you guys probably feel like I did at CSC. You're tired of having an average office or a below average office, and you're ready to take it to the next level. Guys, if that's you, I highly encourage you guys to take great notes when Boyd gets up here. Take great notes when all these guys come here and talk about taking to the next level with PCs. And during CFC, guys, I took the best notes I've ever taken. Every person I was up there, I was always taking as many notes I saved that I read over them whenever I got home. And I created a do list. I had a separate Word document to the side. And I'd hear something like, wow, that's good. So I'd type it in my to-do list. And right when I got home, I had like 12 things on my to-do list. I had on my calendar on my desk. Every day I did it, sit making sure I was getting those to-do lists, getting those things done. I told my staff this last fall, whenever I came back from CNC, that our motto is going to be the same motto as our region: be aggressive. And if we didn't hit our goal of being #1 in the nation for the fall or catching more and being for the year, it wasn't going to be because we weren't aggressive enough. It was going to be because she was better than us. And I told our guys that we were going to be aggressive no matter if we messed up on things. We were doing it for the first time, so if we mess up, that's no big deal, but we're going to make sure we're doing it. I taught my staff that more this last fall than I ever learned in the year before. And we did finish #1 for the fall in the nation. We did pass one. Thanks again. We did pass one for the year, which is pretty exciting. So we did hit our goals. And I'm telling you guys, it was because of these 11 things that you're going to learn more about and learn how to implement in your schedule on a week-to-week basis. This fall, we didn't do anything special. We just followed the programs. People kept asking me, man, what are y'all doing that's so special? What are you doing taking that next level? And I was like, I'm just doing what they said to do. I'm doing PDI, I'm doing PCs, I'm doing key stat. I'm just doing what they tell you to do. I got on the programs, guys. I'm just telling you guys, if you want to do those 11 things that you're going to find out about today, you can basically shift 10 to 12 grand or more every week easily and be very consistent. So everybody go and give it up for the region manager of the Southwest region.
No disrespect to Tyler, but Tyler's not the largest district territory that we have. And I think listening to Jamie stand up there and say, look, shipping 10, 12 grand a week every week. I mean, he's beating, Dallas, Houston. He's beating big cities. He was beating large territories that were 10 times the size. And I guess I want to share that with you. Again, no disrespect to Tyler, because obviously it's plenty big to get any amount of business you want to get out of it. But I think that opens up the eyes to say, there's a program that works here. And I know that we talk about the 11 things, 11 things, 11 things, and you hear that thrown out there all the time. As a matter of fact, most people, I think, if I had to quiz them right now, probably couldn't even list out the 11 things. But, like, maybe you could. Maybe you could, maybe you could. I know we've been pressing with the DVMs quite a bit to be pressing it out to the divisions. Anyway, here's a copy again of the 11 things. And this, instead of being just a copy of it, I think you guys have seen this. I'm sure it's probably been passed out at a staff meeting or whatever. But this is, see one for me. This is the checklist, the 11 things checklist. You guys know what I'm talking about? See, about half the head's not. So anyway, what the purpose of this was to be able to take the 11 things, because like Jamie said, he goes, he wasn't doing anything new he hadn't heard before. He just started doing it. So what that says is, it's not an issue of learning what to do, it's an issue of figuring out how to implement it, right? that make sense?